1:15 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Catherine Pereira and read by Geethanjali Ramanayaka. The headlines. The IMF officials discussed on the progress of the operations and financial responsibilities of the Electricity Board and the Petroleum Corporation. The foreign reserves in the country has been increased due to the dedication of the investors. The farmer communities are reluctant to provide their paddy at the government-certified price. The IGP says that the number of human assassinations in the country has not been increased. Minister Dr. Ramesh Patrana says that Sri Lanka has been identified as the country with the highest reporting number of diabetes cases in South Asia. Foreign news, Israel-Gaza war, EU says starvation is being used as a weapon. The Chief of Senior Operations of the IMF in the country, Peter Brewer, and its representatives held talks with the Minister of Power, Kanchan Wijesekara, last evening. They discussed on the progress of the operations and financial responsibilities of the Electricity Board and the Petroleum Corporation. The deliberations included an in-depth analysis of the cost-reflective fuel pricing formulas, addressing the crucial aspect of aligning fuel prices with actual costs incurred. The IMF's insights and recommendations in this area can potentially contribute to the sustainability of the energy sector. The meeting touched upon the importance of conducting forensic audits to ensure transparency and accountability in the operations of the power and energy sectors. The IMF, known for its global expertise, explored avenues for enhancing governance and financial oversight. Minister Mahinda Amarweera says that it was possible to reach the target of food products through the joint projects initiated by the state and the private sector. Invitations have been called from the private sector for investments. The government has taken measures to provide the necessary facilities in this regard. He made these remarks at a media briefing on the exhibition of Pro Food, Pro Pack. He also stated that the foreign reserves in the country have been increased due to the dedication of the investors. The chairman of the Paddy Marketing Board, Buddhika Iddamalgoda, says that although paddy purchasing process has commenced, the farmer communities on all districts are not providing paddy except the southern province. The paddy will be purchased under the certified price, a kilo of paddy at 105 rupees. But the price of paddy at the market is sold between 110 and 115 rupees. Therefore, the farmers are rejecting the certified price of the government. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
At People's Bank, we empower your pride. People's Bank, pride of the nation.
IGP Deshpanda Tennakoon says that the number of human assassinations in the country has not been increased. He stated that he has the statistics of the reported incidents. He reiterated that information regarding these type of incidents are always being published on social media. Therefore, the public is under the impression that these kind of incidents are increasing. However, this cannot be accepted. He made these remarks while participating at the Das Disin program of the SLBC. He also stated that he and the Minister of Public Security are conducting the Yukti operation under the advice of the President to eradicate the underworld and the drug racketeers in the country. Minister Dr. Ramesh Patrana says that Sri Lanka has been identified as the country with the highest reported number of diabetes cases in South Asia. He stated this during a program held at the Department of Information on the consumption of sugar and milk powder, which is at a higher level. This program has been organized by the Sri Lanka Physical Medicine Academy in line with Physical Disease Day that falls today. And that ends local news for now.
You have got a transfer.
That's all right, sir. They are all our children.
The right decisions with noble intentions bring pride. At People's Bank, we empower your pride.
The main news story is brought to you by Sinhala Veda Mahatmya.
A discussion was held at the Ministry of Agriculture last afternoon regarding the possibility of providing chicken meat to consumers without shortage during the Sinhala and Hindu New Year festival season. The Minister of Agriculture, Mahinda Amravira, the main supplier and producers currently engaged in the poultry industry, as well as officials from the Department of Animal Production and Health and officials from the National Livestock Department Board also participated in this discussion. Minister Mahinda Amravira, who expressed his opinion, asked the industrialists about the current situation related to poultry meat production in the country. And that was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Sinhala Vedamahatmya.
Watch Live is brought to you by
CIB New Year offer. Valuable gifts and gift vouchers. 25% discount for bank cards till 10th of April. Visit CIB today. CIB revives once always.
Following the current high temperature, pets, especially dogs and cats, face significant health risks from heat strokes as they primarily dissipate heat through panting, with limited sweating through paw pads and the nose, unlike humans. City Pet Animal Hospital Managing Director Dr. Sugat Premachandra said. He said pets regulate their body temperature by panting. When panting is not sufficient to get their temperatures down, they can go on to develop heat strokes, he said. And that came to you in Watchlight.
CIB New Year offer. Valuable gifts and gift vouchers. 25% discount for bank cards till 10th of April. Visit CIB today. CIB revives once always.
Coming up, World News.
The headlines first. Israel-Gaza war, EU says starvation being used as a weapon. Biden and Trump set for election rematch after securing party nominations. Pakistan's new president Zardari decides to forgo salary. Starvation is being used as a weapon of war in Gaza, the EU's foreign policy chief has claimed. Joseph Borrell described the lack of aid entering the territory as a man-made disaster. A Spanish ship carrying desperately needed food supplies has left Cyprus for Gaza, but the UN says this cannot replace the delivery of aid by land. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has meanwhile vowed to express on with an offensive in southern Gaza. The quickest, most effective way to get aid into the territory is by road, but aid agencies say Israeli restrictions mean a fraction of what is needed is getting in. U.S. President Joe Biden and his predecessor Donald Trump have both passed the delegate threshold to clinch their party's nominations for the election in November. 4 states, 1 American territory, and Democrats living abroad held their primaries yesterday. The results means U.S. voters face a rematch of the 2020 presidential election in 8 months' time. The nominations will be made official at party conventions this summer. The 81-year-old president said last evening that he was honored voters had backed his re-election bid in a moment when the threat Trump poses is greater than ever. Pakistan's newly elected President Asif Ali Zardari yesterday announced that he would not draw any salary during his tenure as part of his bid to help the cash-strapped country face the challenging economic hardship. Zardari, 68, who took oaths as Pakistan's 14th president on Sunday, decided to encourage prudent financial management and not burden the national. His Pakistan People's Party, PPP, said in a statement on X. The president considered it essential not to burden the national exchequer and preferred to forego his salary, President Secretariat Press Wing said in a press release yesterday. Back to the headlines of the world news. Israel-Gaza war, EU says starvation being used as a weapon. Biden and Trump set for election rematch after securing party nominations. And Pakistan's new president, Zardari, decides to forego salary. And that ends world news.
Development News.
Power and Energy Minister Kanchana Wijesekara unveiled a 2-megawatt ground-mount solar project in Batticalow. The project, which was part of the 90-megawatt Ceylon Electricity Board tendering process, was successfully constructed and commissioned by Back Bay Solar Limited. It aligns with the government's vision of increasing the share of renewable energy in the national grid and mitigating the adverse effects of climate change. Sri Lanka aims at adding up to 2,800 megawatts of renewable energy into the national grid by 2025. And that was development news.
Moving on with sports news.
Sports news. The first one-day cricket tournament between the visiting Sri Lanka team and the Bangladesh team will be played at Ahmed Chowdhury Playground in Chattogram, and the match will begin at 2 p.m. today. The SLBC has made arrangements to bring live broadcast of the match. Sri Lanka Cricket SLC signed a memorandum of understanding with the Japan Cricket Association JCA to help Japan develop its game through collaborations, exchanges and also providing expertise in the game. Accordingly, under this MOU, SLC will help Japan by sending players, teams, coaches and curators to help Japanese cricket. And that was sports news.
Go ekak thiyana youth eකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න as වහගෙන දැකපු ගීත හැබැ කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all-new NSB Ithru Mithru account, NSB IAM, a plan for your dream.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Talavakalai Tea Estate yesterday won the coveted Best Corporate Citizen Sustainability Award 2023 at the 20th Best Corporate Citizen Sustainability Awards organized by the Ceylon Chamber of Commerce. Aitken Spence and Nestle Lanka were adjudged the first and second runners-up respectively. The annual BCCS Awards is the premier corporate citizenship award and highlights sustainability champions in the national corporate arena. The awards promote corporate citizen sustainability ownership and initiatives that deliver social and environmental benefits while pursuing profits. And that was business news.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go ekak thiyana youth එකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න as වහගෙන දැකපු ගීත හැබැ කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all-new NSB Ithru Mithru account, NSB IAM, a plan for your dream.
On to economic news. Hambantota International Port said yesterday there were 6 cruise ship calls in January and February, carrying over 6,000 passengers to Sri Lanka. It said the Celebrity Millennium, largest of the cruise ships that called, sailing between the lines of Hambantota, Colombo and Phuket, Thailand, arrived at the port twice on the 14th and 26th of February, respectively. And that was economic news.
Weather report.
Showers or thundershowers may occur at a few places in the western, Sabrakamwa and southern provinces in the evening or night. Mainly dry weather will prevail elsewhere of the island. Misty conditions can be expected at some places in the Sabrakamwa central and Uva provinces and the Gaul and Mathura districts during the morning. Well, that was the weather report. And prior to concluding this news broadcast, the headlines again. The IMF officials discussed on the progress of the operations and financial responsibilities of the Electricity Board and the Petroleum Corporation. The foreign reserves in the country has been increased due to the dedication of the investors. Farmer communities are reluctant to provide their paddy at the government-certified price. The IGP says that the number of human assassinations in the country has not been increased. Minister Dr. Ramesh Patrana says that Sri Lanka has been identified as a country with the highest reporting number of diabetes cases in South Asia. Foreign news, Israel goes to war. EU says starvation is being used as a weapon. Well, with that, we end this news broadcast from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation, and it's over to Satya to continue with the rest of the programs this Wednesday afternoon. Over to you, Satya.